Hey guys, welcome back to the Sewer Rat Podcast. It's your host Sebastian, aka Arctic Force.
And I'm Bill, aka BDR Productions. So, let me ask you. I've heard you've been feeling kinda sick.
Yeah, your boy had the funny demonetization virus.
What do you mean?
Uh, yeah, I this past week have just kind of been filling out the checklist of all the symptoms of the 2020 shutdown.
Coronavirus?
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay. So, please explain to me. What is everything that you had?
where to begin? So, this past week, it started, I was working. I thought I had an allergic reaction because I was just having mucus everywhere. It was not a fun time. So I go home from that, I take some medicine, I go to bed, I sleep like a baby. And then I wake up the next day, I feel fine until it gets about near night again. And then I start getting like body aches all over. I'm real tired. I'm like, okay, fly down, figure this out, and then we'll deal with it. So, go to bed that night, whatever. I had a band event the next day. I go to that band event, and then I'm like, damn, I really feel like trash at mid event. Felt fine in the beginning, but whatever, we're going through it. I'm getting like a headache. I'm getting some cold shivers, some weakness, some hot or cold sweats, then getting some hot flashes, and I'm like, I need to finish this. I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna try and stay as far away from people as I can. Get tested the next day. Go home. I've got a fever. I'm like, okay, this ain't fun. Wake up the next day, and yeah, I am tested positive. I had thrown up. Uh, pretty much if you check out the CVS website for all pre-checkout things,
CVS.
all pre-check-in things on what symptoms of COVID you could have, I have gone through the whole list besides losing taste and smell.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days later, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it wasn't. That was it severe?
Uh, wasn't as bad as the first time I had it. I could actually move this time.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you recovered quickly.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to keep the damage to a minimum to everyone else because I didn't know what I had at first.
Hmm.
And I was out and about. I told you what I did before the game that I had to go to for band, right?
No, you didn't.
So one of my friends in that band decided he was going. We're all really close as a section. I play the tuba in the band, and our whole little section is really close. He decided to dox me to the section,
Mm-hmm.
leak my address
Oh, okay.
down to the zip code,
That's pretty
full
case in point.
full street address.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him. I'm like, I know where you live, right? And he said, yeah. I was like, I don't live on campus, right? I'm a 5 minute drive away, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I would go start visiting your family and taking pictures. And he goes, nah, you ain't. So before the game that day, while I was feeling great, I went over, was like, yo, can I get a picture with your family? Sister had answered the door. She was the only one home that point. So me and his sister took a picture. I sent it to that chat and I went home. I get a text from his sister 5 minutes later, yo, come back. The rest of the family's here. So I go back and his family's got me like doing poses around the house. They had me go into his bed, crawl in, get under the covers nice and cozy so they could take a picture.
That's
They
funny.
had he had like a whole bunch of games that he had wrapped up and told people, "Nah, don't open these. Keep them hidden away. I don't want you touching them." His dad goes, "Yo, take a picture with these games." Unwraps the games and hands them to me. He goes, he'll buy new ones anyway."
Jeez.
I got myself a whole little album that was just sent to the group chat.
So let me ask. Do you have what I like to call the street credit now?
Yeah, just a bit.
Mm-hmm. You did what people didn't think. Nah, that is hilarious. Now, let's hope his family doesn't have COVID now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean that is a very interesting turn of events, I must say.
Yeah,
Um,
he
i-
had it coming.
is he gonna try to one up you?
I don't think he can.
I mean, whatever there's a will, there's a way.
I mean, yeah, but whatever he does to me, I can just reciprocate to his family.
What do you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean by that.
Okay then. Yeah. Well, so is that all that's been going on? You sick?
I
Going.
mean, yeah, pretty much besides that, all I did was watch a lot of anime while I was lying in bed.
So what I've been busy doing is I've been working on my game as usual, but I've been making the store page for my game.
Okay, okay.
So it's all done. Everything is done except for two things. I need to make a trailer, and I need to make a playable and an openable. Make the game. Okay, trying to explain this. I need to make an exe file to where the game can launch, and I am struggling to get it to work.
Oh, what's the problem with that?
It just won't open.
Oh,
It just won't open. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, here's the exe file. Hopefully it runs. Doesn't run. Okay. And that's gonna be the testing phase for multiplayer as well. Not only the reveal of the name of the game, but the testing phase of multiplayer. Is there gonna be anything really? No. There's not gonna be like no gameplay. This will be like just a short, like little testing with a couple people I know. That's really it.
oh boy, oh boy.
But this once when we get
What?
everything settled,
Okay.
this probably with how much development I've put into it is the equivalent of how much I put in my first game so far. It's not done yet.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's not done yet. But we're cooking. We're cooking.
Now I've noticed you haven't asked me to glitch hunt again yet.
No. See, the thing is, I'm not worried about that because I know they're
You
there. I know
I was
they're
gonna
there.
I was gonna say you should be.
I'm not worried about glitch hunt, like just worry about bug fixing until I have like a game at a playable state. Um, I know you're going to be able to get out of bounds. I know you're going to be able to fall through the map if your soul really attends to. At the current moment,
Oh, easily.
um, however, with that same caveat of everything is still being worked on, so
Okay, okay.
um, I
Now, are there any like dev only things that you can do? Like if you put in servant code on your keyboard, can you put yourself in a dev state while inside the game?
okay.
So that
So, what do you mean by dev state?
because from what I know from games, there's certain things that developers do where whenever they're testing a game, they try and put in little things that they can do to just help them test it. Like in a game I've played, there's a really funny glitch you can do that makes you invincible and able to walk through walls
Mhm.
because one state of the game is if you are on a ladder, you're not able to die because that is supposed to like cancel all combat. That's just a state of you traveling. The other thing you can do is if you push a certain combination of buttons, you the devs left in for testing, you can kill your character. So what you can do is if you do both of those at the same time, you put yourself into like a zombie walk mode and you can just walk through whatever while you're dead.
So funny you mention that. There is test weapons will be scattered through the map, just at like little points. Nothing really major. I think I might have like a respawn hop binded to one of the keys still. Like a quick
Okay, okay.
respawn button, but other than that, there's really nothing. Um, all
Okay,
all
okay.
all campaign story mode, I'm rebuilding from the ground up.
Alright, alright.
So the main issue that currently what I'm trying to figure out is if someone would be in a multiplayer state, playing the game cooperatively through online or LAN, how or if I'm able to or how I'm going to get the two people to hop between instances of levels without desyncing or disconnecting.
Okay. Yeah, because what I've seen games do before like that, uh, there's Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, which is one of the only modern multiplayer Legend of Zelda games. And what they do with that is basically every level is you start in a hub, you go in, you'll play the level, you finish the level, warps you out back to a hub, and then you have to go and play the next level.
Okay.
And
Um.
that's how they do it.
See, the issue with that is how I have it set up. It's open world with like entering dungeons and stuff like that. At least that
Yeah,
is the plan.
I can do it how Elden Ring does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have a limited area for them to explore at first, and then
That
if anyone dies, then they have to just respawn in the new area.
no, that's not how we're gonna do that. That adds level of blockading, which makes it like uh, prevents people from choosing like the open world.
Hmm.
However, it doesn't really feel like a cooperative experience.
Fair enough.
Like games like Far Cry, how like that's constantly open world. People can join you, do all that crazy stuff in that big world. But on the other hand, it's doing that as like a standalone solo dev. It's kind of hard because if I want to have level transitions to like entering this dungeon, entering this, that, and the other, I'm not sure if people will be able just to teleport right in, or maybe perhaps someone let's say someone in the middle of the map would just be dragged into the dungeon.
Yeah, it could be a bit difficult. You might have to put like a check-in place where like anyone who wants to go into it has to like be in front of it at the time, and all the party has to wait or whatever. I don't know, something like that.
That is a possibility. Um, However, I can say this: there's Easter eggs. There are a lot of Easter eggs sprinkled through the game, and I'm excited for what people are gonna find. Story wise, I'm cooking up something very interesting. Very interesting actually. Um, and I'm sprinkling in a lot of references to other things as well.
Okay, okay.
And I'm gonna have a whole like a redesign of the player character. I am
Again.
yes again. So the issue I have is how I designed it. S- swapping. Okay, so how the player character works currently? It's just one like basically it's other than like underwear, it's naked. They're basically deprived of everything, weapons, clothes, you name it. They're covered. Other than like the private bits are not covered. That was weird. Um, Anywho, so the issue that's happening is if I were to get, let's say, slap in an armor set, it just wouldn't look right. So having like a generic humanoid character, because I
Okay.
said generic. So I was thinking more like I forget what that game's called. I don't recall. To where all the characters will start out the same. I mean, I'm gonna make it
That
gender
that's a
neutral.
lot of games.
I'm making it gender neutral. That's just gonna be the easiest way to do it, and have all the accessories be able to fit with that one character model, no matter what other
Okay.
combination. The issue, the issue with that is that's hard to that's hard to do with making everything look correct.
Fair enough.
Especially some like the meme outfits I have. Like there's a few of them. I'll just say like
Okay.
there's a
Okay.
couple like meme armors to where if you get it, your character would just have a big head,
Interesting. Interesting.
big snowman head as well.
Big head mode like the old NBA games.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
You ever play NBA Jam?
no, I never have.
That game was great. The announcer in it would just yell a bunch of crap like "boop shakalaka." It was it controlled awful, but it was so much fun.
Mhm. Um, Trying to think. And then there's a couple other things I don't want to spoil too much of. How, and then that's just basically where we're at.
Okay, okay.
Still, there's still a lot of work, and I'll probably end up once when I have a good foundation, putting it in early access. I know
Alright, alright.
people hate when that happens, but it's probably gonna be early access
Fair enough, yeah.
because the project's been a lot bigger than I anticipated.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, PGs are.
Yeah, RPGs are really massive. I've played quite a few,
Mm-hmm.
and most of them I sink like 80 hours into at least.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the issue with RPGs and with a lot of them, and I'm not going to say mine's going to be no different. It's like a checklist. You go, you kill a bad guy, you come back, complete the quest. You go find an item, come back, complete the quest. You go talk to some person, go talk to another person, go back, complete the quest.
Yeah, that's standard RPG gameplay, but most of the time what gets me with them is you gotta have a really compelling story. I do like how, Persona 5 does it, though, because most of Persona 5 time, you don't really have side quests in that besides, like, going to this area called Mementos and killing things, but you don't have to do it, like, one by one. So how it works in that game is you'll go and you'll talk to people around, like, the normal world, and eventually you'll get, like, a bunch of little requests to go do while you're trying to build up what's called your confidants.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you'll be like, okay, now's time to take a day in and to just go and because it's all based on a time-based system, so you can't just infinitely grind unless you like really just dedicate yourself to it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what you do with that is you'll just go down, you'll find the different rooms that these people are in because it's all a randomly generated dungeon every time you go in that you can skip through based on if you've explored layers before, which is a nice feature. But then you'll just go and you'll take care of it. But most of your time is spent just trying to talk to people, get closer to them until you have to go into like this massive dungeon. The dungeons in Persona are great.
I I bet. Um, I I have only played one of the Persona games.
I think it was Persona 4, right?
No,
Oh,
it was
was it
Persona
3?
5 Royale.
Oh, you played Strikers.
Strikers, yeah, that one.
Yeah, Strikers is not the real Persona
What it means to beat
experience.
'em up.
That's not the
I
real
wanna beat 'em
experience.
up.
I mean, fair enough, but th-
Listen, uh, I will have
I
to say my all-time favorite RPG, and the humor in it's great. And I honestly think if you haven't played it, you have to. Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I haven't played it yet, but I've heard so many good
It
things
is
about it.
so good. It is not only my favorite RPG. Yes, it is my favorite RPG. I had to think about it because I'm like Skyrim, Fallout. No, yeah, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So good. The lore is deep. It's fine. It's like a class. It's if you ever played a Yakuza game, most of them are just beat 'em ups. However,
Mhm.
this one is a JRPG,
Okay, okay.
and it's really good. So,
See, my
what?
favorite RPG is Xenoblade 3 because it does the one thing that many games struggle to do.
Hmm.
You know how there's always a part in the game, or whenever you play RPGs, one of the biggest problems is you'll get too many party members, and then you're not allowed to use all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Xenoblade, or you'll get a lot of party members, but you're only allowed to control one.
Mm-hmm.
Xenoblade 3 says, screw that. You get 7 party members, and you're allowed to play as 6 of them, and you can switch mid combat who you're controlling.
So you can control all of them, but however, can you be a mega business investor?
No, but you can turn into cool fighting
Can
robot.
you make millions of yen investing and climbing up the corporate ladder as an investor? And then can you
No.
play a race karting game in the same game with special boxes and abilities?
No.
And then come on, you gotta go play the classic RPG claw game. Go to our claw machine and try to pick up one of those stuffed teddy bears.
Yeah, yeah. You can do none of that in that game, but in Persona 5, or let me ask you, can you play baseball
Uh,
in
Um,
Yakuza? Can you go to the batting cages and get a home run and then go home and increase your guts?
I don't think so.
Or can you go and can you just take a nice, lovely fishing trip?
I think there might be fishing. I could
Oh,
be
that's a
wrong.
good game. That's that's the number one rule. If it's a good game, it has a fishing mini game.
I think there is. I think I could be wrong. Um,
Speaking of fishing games, have you heard of the insanity that is a game called Dave the Diver?
I've heard of it. Don't know anything about it.
It is from all any of the gameplay I've seen of it, it is the most fever dream fishing game you will ever see.
What do you mean?
let's say you're doing your little fishing mini game where you're going scuba diving and you're going down into the ocean, you're hunting your fish, and you stumble across an area, and all of a sudden you're playing a rhythm mini game to K-pop music.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how about this? We go back to Yakuza. You during the mini game of climbing the corporate ladder and investing, you have to appease the investors.
Yeah.
You have to appease the investors. I forget exactly what they make you do, but you have to put on a whole show.
Interest.
Okay, okay, hold up, hold up. So throw all that aside. Is there a dancing mini game?
Persona 5 doesn't have a dancing mini game, but it has a dancing game spin-off.
Yeah, but is it a rhythm? Is it rhythm?
Yes, it is literally a whole rhythm game spin-off. It's called like Persona 5 Dancing in the Stars or something like that.
Listen, there's a mini game where it's rhythm based. You know, click some buttons. You gotta ace it. You gotta ace it. All the Yakuza games have it.
But yeah, but there's in your rhythm mini game, do you get to see a cat playing piano jamming out while the bass guitar player goes down to the floor with his bass line because it's so
See
good.
that doesn't matter. It's cool, but the most in the game, the most valuable enemy you can kill is a caveman
Jesus Christ.
with one of those
Woody Club.
wooden clubs.
That's a move.
Hey man, they're rare encounters.
Yeah, but in Persona or in Yakuza, you can't get a creature to be on your side that is literally just a giant phallic object
Riddle me
that
this.
rides a chariot around.
Riddle me this. So, see, Yakuza teaches you a very important lesson about how being green. There's a whole mini game about collecting trash and turning it into a recycling bin for money. And you
Interesting.
clean the streets. You just clean the You just clean the streets, and you compete with other hobos to clean the streets for money.
What?
You heard me right. And then if you're pretty bad at this mini game, you can just go digging under vending machines for coins.
Oh my god.
Sometimes it's a rough life. That 100-hour long playthrough. Sometimes it's a hard life. You know, you have to dig under vending machines for money. But
That's wild.
I tell you what, the streets would never be cleaner.
Fair enough. Now, Bill, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on games being really hand-holdy? Like, even to the fact where if you fail enough, they give you a way to just skip past the hard part, and they do it for you.
What do you mean by that? Give me an example of a game.
So, like, in Super Mario Galaxy, if you die, I think it's like 10 times on a single star, you can have the AI bot do it for you. You won't get credit for it, but you will be allowed to move on.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah. Um,
I don't I don't see a lot of companies do it, but I do see Nintendo do it quite a bit. Like in the new Pikmin 4 game, there's these little things you get into that are called Dandori battles, which Dandori just basically means like task management. So your whole thing is shit. Sorry. If the whole point of Pikmin games is task management, you send your little guys to go take care of things all around the map while you're trying to micromanage all of it. Well, in these Dandori battles, the funny thing is the speed run uses this. If you can't win it, you can give up and let the AI just do it for you. So what and it'll give you full credit for it no matter what. You just won't get like 100% rewards, but you can just beat the game that way.
That is weird.
So literally what the speed run does is for all the required Dandori battle things you have to do is they go in, they immediately give up and tell the AI to do it for them, and then the AI they just skip the AI doing it.
Okay.
It saves like throughout the game it saves like 20, 30 minutes.
Phew. A lot of time.
Yeah, it's wild. Speedrunning is always an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah. So how's your speedrunning go?
It's been on halt for a bit. Just the game is running Mario Super Sluggers is such a hard experience almost just because they're unless you have perfect timing and super consistency, the game practically feels like RNG if you're going to get a good run. And just I don't practice it enough to get the super good consistency because all the little strats in it. There's one strat that basically you can probably save about 5 to 10 minutes almost. Probably not 10, but like 5 minutes of the game.
Hmm.
There's two strategies for the final like baseball game you go through. You either just get your single point and then you try and rush through 5 innings of a game, which takes quite a bit, or you go for a mercy rule, which if you don't know what that is, you have to win by 10 points in an inning. They just call the game
Okay.
because it's such a slaughter. I've never gotten the mercy rule because it is very hard if you're not consistent because you also don't pick out the best characters. You just grab your quickest 9 characters to go and then you play the game. So it's kind of an inconsistent run to do, but yeah, I did an all characters run at one point and then I forgot to hit record,
Goober.
which is fine because the all characters run I did, I was very embarrassed because I probably struggled on one character for like 15 minutes because I didn't practice at all before doing it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't do any speedrunning, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, speedrunning is very much a how much can you bang your head against a wall and how much do you care about managing microseconds?
Yeah.
Because you know about frame rates, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that happens at an event called GDQ every year, Games Done Quick, is they always run the game Super Metroid because it has the biggest donation incentive. They do a bid war where basically at the end of Super Metroid, you have two choices. You can either go straight to your ship and then leave the planet, or you can take a quick pit stop and rescue all the little animals who will then come with you on your ship to leave.
Hmm.
And GDQ is a charity event for trying to save lives, right?
Okay.
So they have a bid war every year that gets extremely competitive of save the animals or save the frames. And it gets to like they raise probably about 80 to $100,000 every year with this bid war.
Shoot. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but they raise probably about 2+ million a year for charity.
Hmm.
It's wild. I think the funniest bid war win that I've ever seen is there's a game the game Super Mario 3D World. They were doing a all levels category of it, and the final level extremely hard. It's called Champions.
It's
Now
called
they
Champions
have
what?
Champions Road,
Okay.
and they held a donation incentive. There are 5 characters in the game you can play as for that. You can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, or Rosalina. Now, Mario's the most painful one because he doesn't have anything special for it. So, this man, Mario has been in the lead for forever. He's probably in the lead by about $8,000. They get, and if I'm remembering this correctly, they get to literally right before the final level, and then they get a $10,000 donation that says literally just says, "I'm Toad," which
Oh,
switches the character to Toad for the final level. And it wasn't even like anybody named. It was just a $10,000 anonymous donation that just only said, "I'm Toad."
yeah. It's Toad a easy character to play in that game?
Toad's not the easiest, but he's one of the fastest because Toad gets like a speed boost in that game.
Okay.
Most busted in the game is Peach, just because she has a little float and she can like cancel her float and give herself a crap ton of momentum.
Oh
It's
yeah. Okay.
wild.
Sure. Um. Yeah, no, I don't play that much Nintendo games, so I can't really relate on a lot of that stuff. However, I will say this: I don't watch too much charity events when it comes to like gaming on Twitch or anything like that. I don't really watch Twitch, but the speed run I've watched the most of is SpongeBob Battle for the Beanie Bottom. Both
I like
rehydrated and original.
I like how it rehydrated. They beat the game extremely quickly just because they're like, you have to use don't you have to like use a remote and a keyboard?
Yes.
It's wild. Just to like, oh yeah, we're just clicking the final level.
Hmm. It's big brain. But however, I want to ask you something. The rate the games are going, the rate games are being produced, and how they're being produced. When do you think there's going to be more microtransactions than game?
Uh, EA Sports already does that.
When do you think majority of games released will be more microtransaction than game?
I'd say give it about another 20 years, and then everything is going to be on a free to play basis with content locked behind paywalls.
You think so?
Come on, man, just buy the battle pass so you get access to the game for like 3 months or less.
Licensing. That gets into a whole other can of worms about licensing. Because that's all really games are, disc or digital. It's just about licensing where you own the license to play the game.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't wait to see. So, I'm curious what's going to happen if they're going to make another Smash Bros. Because that's one of Nintendo's biggest cash cows.
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they with a new console? Whenever they make it.
Now, here's the thing: the head director of Smash Bros., who like put his heart and soul into the game, said he wanted the newest Smash Bros. Pretty much to be the last one that he's ever going to work on,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it's Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's his ultimate project. I'm curious what's going to happen because if they do make another one, he had the most connections with people. And if he's not working on the project anymore, how many characters are they actually going to let stay? Because he worked his butt off to get Microsoft to allow him to
Yeah, you
Banjo
keep
and
cutting
Sora
out.
in. Is this better?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just like when you're just talking, just kind of cuts out randomly. But yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, working with Microsoft.
Yeah, he was the one who had worked with Microsoft and Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, to get Banjo and to get Sora in.
Okay.
To me, Sora is the biggest coin flip on if he gets into the next Smash Bros. Game, just because Disney don't like it when people use their property.
I'm surprised. I don't think you've ever played Sea of Thieves, but I'm surprised that they added a Pirates of the Caribbean whole storyline
That is wild.
to it. It's wild. Great experience though, I will say. Um.
You get to see Captain Jack Sparrow.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
You I'm not gonna spoil it. Even though it's been out for ages. But just Captain Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones,
Gotcha,
and they
gotcha.
go through that whole spiel. They also just added a. I haven't actually played it yet. Some stories, some story adventures with Monkey Island.
Okay, okay.
Never, never played a Monkey Island game, but I've been wanting to play it.
Never heard of Monkey Island, but
It's a very well-known
okay, okay.
point and click adventure. Uh, that involves pirates.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Mhm. But yeah, just any crossovers like that are very appreciated.
Yeah. The one I'm interested to see is how do they get. I'm surprised they still make enough money for it.
Hmm.
It's Fortnite.
Dude, I'm waiting for the One Piece crossover.
Please no, for all that is sacred.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. One
I
Piece Sea of Thieves crossover.
That I would be happy for. I would probably buy Sea of Thieves at that moment.
Mm.
But no, no, no. You were talking about One Piece Fortnite. My boy's Gum Gum pistol would just be him pulling out a Glock.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what else could I see One Piece making a crossover?
Bro, I swear, if you hop into a Fortnite lobby right now, it looks more like Comic-Con than a video game. World's Best Gamer competition that went on for gaming.
No.
There's just like a big tournament hosted that was pretty much just a bunch of content creators trying to see who's the best gamer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best Overwatch players was like, they had to play through a bunch of games. One
Mm-hmm.
of the best Overwatch players went, I saw his video, his name is Super TF. He went to try and learn how to play Fortnite so he would be able to compete in it well. Most of that stream was him spent playing as the Chun-Li skin and just staring at her features, we'll say.
Okay.
While other people were coming in and joining in with him looking at her features.
Okay. Okay.
That
So yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, listen, the Fortnite crossover with Magic the
oh my
Gathering, the
god.
Battle Bus collectible trading card.
I tap 4 mana and I play the Battle Bus.
That was two.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't buy those cards.
I only bought two of them.
I had. I want you to know, whenever I first played Fortnite, I grew a severe disdain because my first ever game, I got like 13th because I sat in a bush.
Yeah, sounds
And
about right.
then my second game, I got third place because I sat in a bush.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, damn, this game seems boring. It's just sitting in a bush. So then I pretty much only ever touched it for my brother's birthdays because they both loved it.
So my statement is being it doesn't matter if you sit in the bush or not. You're just bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're bad.
Explain to me how I am bad when that is just pretty much the easiest
Well, like, did
strategy
you
to
win
win.
though? Did you
I,
ever win sitting in that bush?
I think I won one game,
Did you sit in the bush to do it?
the majority of it.
Majority, okay. Well, you're good at Fortnite. Good job. Good
That
good good.
that is how you play Fortnite.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale. I'm not at all.
Me either.
But
It's pretty annoying if you get third partied. And that's why I don't like playing it. I'm like, if I'm shooting at someone and then I just get shotgunned from behind out of nowhere, I'm gonna be pissed.
the game is all luck, no skill. I mean, a little bit on skill, mostly luck. However, let's. I'm gonna reel you in to a fantasy adventure.
Nah, there's only one good battle royale, and that's Minecraft Hunger, baby.
Yeah, Minecraft's Hunger Games is kind of whatever. I'm gonna reel you into an adventure. Hear me out. You ever just wanted to like hold a bow and arrow, hold like a heavy mace, go in with the boys, and clear out everyone inside?
So we're playing
And
World
if
of
you die, you
Warcraft
lose
when?
all your stuff.
So we're playing World of Warcraft when?
No, 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 no. You die, you lose
Oh,
all your stuff.
RuneScape.
You die, you lose all your stuff. Other players can kill you and take your stuff, including your own teammates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like a good idea with our friend group.
listen, dark and darker.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm bad at those kind of games. Yeah, I'm just
What, you don't
bad.
like dungeon crawlers?
It's not dungeon crawler.
Oh, the way you described it sounded like it.
No, have you ever played Escape from Tarkov?
Oh, it's pretty much Escape from Tarkov, but like medieval.
In a dungeon. It is in a dungeon. Like I'm not gonna lie. It is in a dungeon, but it's yeah. There's other things that can kill you, other NPCs, um,
Gotcha.
including other players, and then you
So
just
it's
lose all your
Escape from
stuff.
Tarkov, but with content.
Oh, Escape from Tarkov has content.
I don't know. I don't see the point in games like that where you just drop in, you go, you kill a bunch of people, take some guns, and then you go home. You don't even win.
See, the whole like idea is you build out your like base in order to get better kits so to actually go in, get out, bring better stuff. Um, the issue I have with it is there's always a wipe, which without a game set up, when the more you play the game, the stronger you get, the better your character is. By sprinting, running, being quiet, that's just how the game is, and it wipes like quarterly. And
That's
like so,
wild.
whatever you do, it just gets hit the hard reset.
So basically, playing the game is useless.
I mean, do you have fun? Let me ask you: when you play a game of chess, do you have fun?
I mean, kinda.
Is there a point to app that game of chess?
To win.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't like how it resets either. However, there's more a conclusion. I see it more of a conclusion going in. Maybe getting like the most decked out base.
I don't know. To me, like, if it's not like inherently a sandbox game where you can actually like create something physical, I don't really see a point in it. But also, I just don't like those types of games in general.
I think with Tarkov and more, not more of like dark and darker. Tarkov has more of like a fan base who knows about firearms because you can like customize firearms to a whole new level than most games. Whether it be the magazines, sights, flashlights, lasers, it goes in depth. It goes in depth more than I actually understand, and I
Okay.
think some of them we can take apart. Anyway, I feel like also
I feel like the wipes though is just a cheap tactic to keep playability up.
probably, but there's also different types of ammunition
Okay.
that firearms can use. And like I'm not too big of a gun. I ain't a brainiac when it comes to that. I know point click boom it fires kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a I should say I don't nerd out over firearms as much as some people do, and people who enjoy that game definitely do. Or at
Oh
least
yeah,
if they
for
play it
sure.
more often. Um, but like with Dark and Darker, I don't see them having that kind of content where people can geek out over like certain things. I mean, I guess it's a sword. I mean, yeah, maybe it might be serrated, maybe it might be a different type of sword, a heavier sword. I don't know. I see more like replayability in Tarkov than Dark and Darker, and I am sad to say they're still not on Steam.
Dang.
Do you know about Dark and Darker at all?
Literally, I've just heard about it.
So
Not watched any gameplay, have not heard anything besides what you've just been telling me.
okay, so it was on Steam. Now there's a whole like controversy of them getting like currently in a legal battle over like a stolen assets, quote unquote.
But like only up.
No, and more of like a actual like they were kicked off of Steam because of it, and their side saying they didn't take anything, and another company saying yes you did. Right,
Fun.
and in I think it was only meshes and materials, which in game development, that is what the 3D model is. What you can visibly see, so it's just not like a
Mhm.
white blob. Which the funny thing is, all of it was from purchased assets off of Unreal. I think it was Unreal Engine, so it wasn't even theirs. Well, not all of it, a good majority of it. So
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a whole debacle. You have to. I think they have a website currently where you can get the game.
Okay, okay. Uh, Video game drama is always fun.
It's very interesting. I'd say, yeah. Um,
I miss good old console wars.
what do you mean you miss it? Still here.
Yeah, but it's not as fun anymore.
I think the issue is you've grown up as a person, and it doesn't matter if you have the Xbox, PlayStation, or the back. I mean, I guess if you have a Nintendo product, then you can go hide in the corner because
Yeah,
there's no
to me,
crossplay. There's no crossplay.
what do you
Unlike
mean? You can play Fortnite.
you can play Fortnite and Rocket League. Have fun. Have fun. Which
Come on,
which
you don't want your Switch friend with like 20 FPS joining you on PC
man, I'd be
playing
surprised at
Fortnite.
15. But continue off that with the PC Master Race. I mean, it's not as bushy as it sounds. Um, with being able to play both PlayStation and Xbox games, it's if console wars are practically over unless you're buying the console just for the exclusive. But
The only that's like the big reason I get Nintendo products is just for the exclusives because I like Nintendo games and they don't put anything else.
okay, funny mustache man.
Bro, I'm already scared
Hmm.
for Super Mario. They're making a new 2D Mario game that's called Super Mario Wonder, and the art. Let's just say the artist saw the trailer and they've already started going crazy.
Okay, so oh,
Mario turns into an elephant.
oh yeah, I've seen that.
Mario can also turn into a balloon.
Can you also turn into a car?
No, that's Kirby.
Okay. So going off of that,
Actually, but Mario has turned into a car before. Super Mario Odyssey.
That's probably where I was thinking from. Um, I'm just saying, you with your little Nintendo products hiding. I mean, you got exclusives. I applaud you. However, the PlayStation and the Xbox are where gaming, where the hardcore gamers go.
I'll be honest, the
These are
big
the
2 reasons I get Nintendo. There's
hmm.
only 2 games I get Nintendo product for really right now, and that's the Xenoblade series and Smash Bros.
See, the gamers I'm thinking of is the ones with a 2-gallon bottle of Mountain Dew and a whole family-sized bag of Doritos, nacho cheese.
And the 3 Little Caesars pizzas.
Now, with the other side of the console wars, they'd be drinking Code Red and Cool Ranch Doritos.
And Papa John's.
No, no Papa John's, too expensive.
Jesus Christ.
Still Little Caesars. Still.
Still Little Caesars hot
Yeah,
and
that's one
ready.
thing we could all have in harmony. Some mid pizza that's very cheaply priced. I can't
That
complain.
half the time isn't even hot, but it will be ready.
It will be ready, and that's all we ask for. It's kind of hot. It's warm.
Pizza's one of those foods that, like, for real, you can have it almost any temperature. It's good. Besides frozen.
I could argue.
You never you never eat cold pizza?
No, 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 no. I'm going to pizza's fine. I mean frozen.
You eat frozen
I've never
pizza.
ate it, but I think you could.
Yeah, if you wanna break a few teeth along the
No,
way.
because the crust would be like. Have you ever had like a frozen bread? It's a little. It's. I mean, texturally, it's weird, but it's you can eat it.
I've never had frozen bread before. What the hell are you
So
on?
sometimes when you get those
When you get the munchies?
no, so have you ever bought one of those breakfast sandwiches that come in frozen?
No, because I don't eat breakfast.
So one day I was just curious. I'm like, I wonder what the croissant tastes like frozen. I'm like, huh, that's what that tastes like.
I have never once had the inkling of a thought to be like, what does this taste like while it's
Okay, so like also Pop Tarts recommend for using them. Yo, by the way, your
freezing a
audio wasn't being
Pop-Tart?
picked up at all.
What, that me doing this? Oh, I didn't
No, for
say
the
a
past
word.
like a minute, but it's fine.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So yeah, I believe where you'd run into the issue is um how much pizza sauce, because if it's a little, like if it's completely hardened, I don't think you'll be able to get past it. And even if
I'm
it's
not
if
eating pizza if the sauce is frozen.
no, I mean if you get it out of the freezer. But let's say you get Little Caesars and it's frozen. They really don't sauce it up that much sometimes. You could probably get through it. The cheese is where your next step be. Can you break through that cheese? And then if you're able to do all the above, then I don't see why you couldn't eat it frozen.
I mean, you could, but would you enjoy the experience?
Listen, when I eat pizza after the first time it was cooked, I typically throw it in the air fryer.
I typically microwave it if I want it hot, but if not, I just literally take my pizza and I'll eat it cold.
See, the thing with the air fryer is it gets it crispy. It gets it to that crispy, not soggy consistency.
Fair enough.
So it's like you just got it, but it's like a little bit of that. I mean, it's pizza, man.
My family doesn't eat pizza that much, though, sadly, because my brother is a
Okay.
Disappointment of the family. He doesn't like pizza and he doesn't like chocolate. And he drinks milk with almost anything. I've seen him have milk and ribs before.
With a
Barbecue
spicy,
ribs.
with a spicy barbecue.
No. It was a sweet barbecue rib. And
I'm
he drank milk with it before. He has had milk and Chipotle.
well, the American education system did him well.
This boy wants to be a chef too.
What's his opinion on butter chicken?
He likes butter chicken.
Does he like it a lot?
I don't know what you mean by that one a
Okay,
lot.
what is the thing about a nice Japanese curry?
He's never had Japanese curry. He likes Indian cuisine, and those are like the two international cuisines he likes to try.
So, Japanese curry uses milk for that, get that velvety taste.
What Japanese curry you've been making? 'Cause I've made a Japanese curry before. It did not require
Fuck, was that the Indian curry? I forget the recipe.
Indian curry uses cream.
That's probably what I'm thinking. Yeah, you cook it. There's cream in the milk. Whatever.
No, Japanese curry is more savory. You use like potatoes and apples.
Yes, I remember. But there's something I'm
But
like
in like
blanking
butter
on.
chicken or a Japanese curry, or not Japanese, Indian curry, you'll add like into like a tiki masala.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen. We Me and you have to try an experience together.
What's this new awful food you're?
Listen, we go to a Japanese restaurant, get squid, and
Okay.
ask them to just decapitate it right in front of us, and then we eat
I
it.
thought you were talking about getting calamari.
What do you think calamari
Like
is?
fried calamari.
Huh?
Not like you said, literally take the squid, chop it up. I'm talking about getting calamari and them actually preparing it. I ain't grabbing no freaking tentacle and just sticking an end in my mouth.
No, no, I'm not talking about calamari. No, I'm talking about just like doing like that. Have you seen those like videos of the Korean people? These people from Korea just eating that whole like baby octopus alive.
No.
We want to try it? We have to go to Korea,
No.
but I mean, I think it's Korea. I'm gonna sound this is gonna sound awful if it's not Korea, but I'm pretty sure it's Korea. South Korea.
Alright.
I don't think I can go to
I would
North.
not like to do that.
Well, that's 'tis a shame. 'Tis a shame.
Speaking of like Japanese and Korean, have you ever seen that video of I found out he's from Mongolia, but he's trying to speak Japanese, and he just uses the most stereotypical or just names Japanese brands to speak to in it. But it's a whole little song where they teach him a bunch of words. It's really weird.
Okay.
It's like I'm an anime fan and I went to Japan. Starts saying like a bunch of stuff, and then it just turns into him like saying like Toyota, Nintendo.
Jeez. That's funny.
It's really bad. And then they like go and teach it, and then it just ends with him in like a Japanese standing there going. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. It's wild. That is wild. However, you want to do that?
I'm not eating a baby octopus, and I'm not going to Japan to be extremely racist by just saying Toyota Nintendo.
We're just trying to find the nearest Nintendo store and go look at the toy that's next to it. Or find a toy
Yeah.
Yoda.
Jesus
Toy
Christ.
baby Yoda. I think that's probably a good place to leave it
Yeah,
off, isn't it?
yeah, let's cut this off right now. Alright, guys, this has been the Sewer Rat Podcast. Like, subscribe down below, comment, let us know. And remember, hit the subscribe button. One of us.
Bus.
One
One of
of
us.
us.
One of
Alrighty,
us.
guys. Have a good
Have a
day.
good one.